What's up, everybody? This is Joe from Support and Resistance Trading. I want to make a quick video today with you guys describing something I want you to understand, and that is understanding your strategy and where to get in and out of your strategy and how well it's working or how well it's not working. And you can start to see those indicators, so you're actually going to take profits along the way. So I want to show you two stocks, and I want to discuss my two strategies with you and how they work sometimes and how they don't, and how you need to minimize your loss on a strategy to make your profits greater. So today, NVIDIA, all right, and Boeing, okay? So I want to talk about the strategy that I've been working on. I have two long strategies that I've been working on. I'll pull it up here in the 5 minute and the 1 minute. All right, this strategy right here that we're going to talk about first is the first VWAP hit, okay, and a confirmation on the second VWAP hit for a patterned trend that the stock is going to follow. So let's talk about NVIDIA this morning. I'm just going to zoom in just quickly. All right, and I want to talk about this, right? So on the 1 minute here, and I have the 5 minute over here, the 1 minute shows it really well. All right, the stock NVIDIA hit the VWAP at open, like kind of spiked in this first candle, and then we sold off, okay? And then we spiked back up off this support level of roughly 187, spiked back up, and we tapped the VWAP again and failed. Okay, so this is a really good strategy, right? If you didn't get in on the first short of the VWAP strike, you can see it down here on Boeing as well, and I'll talk about that. The first VWAP strike, right, as we came up, tapped it, and then we're coming down in this candle, or below these lows, right, of these first two candles, you would short it here, and then write it down however much percentage you're looking to gain. Usually if you're carrying a couple contracts, right, you want to short here and be selling on the way down. Now, if you got in early, there's two ways to play this strategy. You buy a couple contracts, risking, right? You buy a couple contracts here, risking kind of the highs here. Because we break above this VWAP and go, you really want to get out of those contracts. So if you're entering a couple contracts here, right, on the way down a couple percent in terms of whatever you're looking to risk, 20, 30% for your first one, you want to lock some in, especially at areas of resistance or support, because you could re-enter later, right? So let's talk about it, right? We shorted it here, let's say, I didn't. Let's say we shorted it here and it collapses down and you sell somewhere in here. You sell a contract. It bounces back up and doesn't break through the VWAP, right? You could re-add in here, showing a confirmation, right? Also making a lower high, showing a confirmation that we are in a downtrend, okay? We are in a downtrend. You could re-add here, or you can just leave your contracts and be selling them on the way down if you're trying to catch a little bit more of the move. Now, I want to talk about this works, right? You clearly see that this strategy is working. I've seen it on other charts. I can show you on multiple charts. And sometimes it doesn't. And it's okay that it doesn't. You just want to be able to take profits so you make the most of your strategies. Look at Boeing. Also today, I was watching Boeing, and I missed this trade because I was changing rooms at my job. So Boeing put in this huge stopping candle, right? First of all, I love when I see those. Usually it means, obviously, the trend direction. So we came down below and we consolidated 1, 2, 3, 4 candles, putting in these lows. You can clearly see this was the line of break. You could have bought on this red candle as it was breaking through those, okay? Risking your percentage. As it came through here, coming down, we lost about $1.75. So you would obviously want to be taking profit at a percentage. Now this was about 25 to 30% in the contracts. So I usually take percentage 20 to 30%. I'll take off at least a contract if I'm trading multiple contracts. So as it's coming down, you want to sell one. And now, again, if we apply the same theory as the NVIDIA above, okay, where we bounced down and then spiked into the VWAP and then collapsed down, the problem is, as you're watching this, right, guys, I know this is all hindsight. As you're watching this is what you see. You see a fail, a bounce up into the VWAP, right? Let me go left a little bit here just so you can see it a little better, boom, right? We fail, right? We're failing. You take off profit. We're coming up. All right, we're just going to bounce in that VWAP. All right, and a lot of people would add here. And you know what's funny? I would probably have added here as well. Because we're close to the VWAP, we kind of failed. Yes, we didn't tap it exactly or as close to as this, but it's the same principle, right? If you're going to add again, you're going to add here, and you probably would have added somewhere in this candle, breaking below, thinking, all right, we're going to continue down. And what happened? Well, clearly the stock kind of bounced up and then broke above. Now, if you were to lock in profit on this first move, let's say you locked in $100 profit, right? About 30% of a 20 to 30% of an actual contract. You lock in that profit here, you can risk the later entry, right, as your actual stop, or the cross the VWAP, which was actually the same position. It just ended up being that way. All right. So what I'm trying to tell you is the strategies work. Okay, they don't work every single time. But just because they don't work every single time doesn't mean you couldn't have nailed profits on Boeing as well. Even if you sold it up here, you still had the profits from the first, and you kind of lost roughly commissions on the other contracts that you held. Right? It wasn't a home run that Nvidia would have been if you would have tried to got a lot more of the move. Sure, but it was the same concept, right? That it spiked up and then failed below, and then we spiked up again, and right, we broke above. So it will do what you're saying it's going to do, right? But it's not going to do it every single time, and you have to be watching this saying, all right, this is where I'm going to get in, this is where I'm going to get out, these are my profit targets like I talked about in the last video on hindsight, right? You always want to know where you're looking to take some profit. You always want to lock that in, because sometimes it goes against you. You don't want to be losing money here when you could have locked some in down here. Okay? So this is the one strategy I've been working on. The first VWAP or second VWAP hit is a nice opener, okay? And it kind of after later in the day you really can't play. You kind of play for that first 30 minutes of the from 9:30 to about 10 o'clock, and after that usually the second VWAP hit is right around 9:45, 15 minutes in, and it's kind of you got to go to other strategies. So let's talk about the actual trade that I took, Disney, and I want to also talk about what we call the double bottom, and I talked about it in my hindsight video because I was hinting at it. So double bottom Disney, and we're also going to pull up AMD. I don't have it down here. I will put it here. Okay. I want to show you what I'm talking about by the double bottom. I want to talk about my trade from today. So as you know, Disney is super strong, right? So I'm watching Disney. Disney runs up and collapses, and I'm waiting for Disney to find support at a whole number. Okay. So I'm watching Disney come apart. This is the problem with hindsight trading and looking at the future. So we're going to come back here to what I was actually witnessing. Okay, so this is what I see. Disney runs, kind of puts in a double top and comes down. Finds support on the 200, right, and the 130 whole number. If you look at the charts, the 130 was a severe kind of support level where we bounced off in pre-market and we hit the other day. It was a nice support line. Okay, so I'm like, all right, watching to see if we put in any sort of double bottom here. So we come forward in time. We tap, and we put in a double bottom. Now, we know it does because you just saw the chart. But as I'm watching this, you don't know it puts in a double bottom. So when I play a double bottom strategy, I will buy at the center break, right, of this point of this like W. So this is W, comes down, spikes up, comes down. Somewhere up in here is where you're going to look to get in. You don't know this is going to put in a double. How do you know it just doesn't collapse? Okay? You don't know. How could it be that like over here where you think AMD is going to put in a double bottom right here, right? We get these push candles, it starts coming up, you buy here, and then it collapses. I like to wait for more of a confirmation of the actual double bottom to get in. So my goal was to get in at 130.90, okay? Because I'm trying out these strategies. 130.90. I got in at 130.92. So I'm like, all right, we're putting in a double bottom. I'll zoom forward here so you can see. Okay. You have the volume starting to come in here, right? We have a little bit of more volume starting to come in a double bottom. And the break of 131, I was like, break of 131, we break and hold. We're probably going to go back up to retest highs, okay? Plus, we're about to cross the VWAP and all the other stuff if you want to play that as well. So we get above 131. We get a couple pushback, but yet we hold above 131 off the 9 EMA here, right? And we're holding. We're clearly showing a buy. Then we put in this weird little candle. I was getting nervous. And I was like, why are we not just breaking above, right? We're going to break and hold. Are we going to run or are we not going to run? I thought we were kind of going to put in this small little saddle. Okay? And what happens as we move forward? We get a red candle. And it just blows right through the 131. Okay? And this happens. I pretty much took a loss here. $26. Yeah, $26 loss. I'm not upset about it. I was happy with my entry. Happy with the setup. Okay? It just didn't work out. It doesn't always work out, and that's okay. Right? It's not always going to be this beautiful double bottom where it just runs up. And clearly looking at the further on the day, yes, it did go back up, but nobody's going to hold through these pullbacks and break below when I got in at 130.90 and hold through 129, that's a dollar and some bit. That's not going to happen. So I got out. I got out for a small loss, but I'm happy with my entry and everything else that went along with it. Okay, and this happens. Sometimes the double bottom works perfectly. Let's look at AMD again. Hindsighting, we collapsed this morning and we put in a double bottom at a whole number of roughly $27. Tapped below, tapped again, and then we ran up. Okay, again, it put in a double bottom that worked. I didn't trade this. Okay, but it does work, and I know it works, but it doesn't work every time, and that's okay if it doesn't work every time. You just got to keep an eye on the chart and take the loss. That's a minimal loss. I lost $26. It's not the end of the world, okay? Because I was confident with my entry, and I was looking at when I'm going to exit this trade. Anything below it was 130.80. I was going to get out because it was like the low of these candles, right? And I held it a little bit, and I got out in here. It's not a big deal. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Because really, it could have ran for a new high break. So I got in at, say, 130.90. I had a whole idea of a $2 move, right, to highs, or a $1.70 move to highs, risking, what, a low of 20 cents? So risk reward was good, move was good, break was good, it just didn't do it. And it happens, okay, guys? So know your strategy. And when you're playing and learning a new strategy, like I am learning this VWAP bounce and these more long strategies because I'm short biased, right? It's okay to not have the strategy work. Just don't be riding it thinking, oh, it's got to work every time. It's got to work every time. The strategy works every time, and I got to catch the whole move every time. Know your profit targets, right? Know your entries, why you entered where you did. Be confident in why you entered where you were entering. I was confident. Break above. We got a nice W. We had volume. A little bit of volume coming in here, breaking above a whole number, holding that. I was happy. Came down, tested the 9, held above. I was like, good. And it just didn't break. Okay? It happens. It happens. All right? So those are two strategies I've been working on for opening, guys. I'm going to continue to work on them as we move into tomorrow. So I'm just going to mostly leave up a lot of the stocks, all right, that I've been leaving up. And the only thing I'm going to add here, all right, I'm going to leave Disney. I'll pull this down so we can see it. Okay, so I'm going to leave Disney, Facebook, Nvidia, Apple, Netflix, and Boeing. I'm just going to trade these. Probably won't be trading Disney. Okay, it's kind of stalling out here. And the only one I'm going to add, just because I'm curious, is Lyft. And I just want to see what this thing does. If we just continue to sell off, because if you look at the 5 every day, it just collapses and collapses and collapses and collapses. We'll not be playing it. But I will be watching the other ones for the early morning VWAPs and for the double bottoms or double tops if we have a green day. Just working on these long strategies, all right? So what I really just trying to get through to you is have a strategy, and when you're learning a new strategy like I am, it's okay if it doesn't work. But just keep the losses to a minimum and keep the winners big, right? Obviously, it's hindsight. If I was in this Nvidia trade, I mean, even if I didn't catch the whole move on Nvidia, even if I caught a part of the move, even on the bounce off the VWAP here. Hold on, I got to sneeze. Off the VWAP here, I could have had, $1.50, $2. I mean, it could have had a lot more. The potential was there, and it clearly was there. Same thing with Disney. The potential was there. It just wasn't the right timing of the move. Okay, guys? So that's my tip for the day about profits and about strategy use. I would really like you guys to subscribe to my channel. Obviously, Support and Resistance Trading. That's where you're watching this. And if you're interested, we also have a Discord chat room. All right? We are the Support and Resistance Mob. It's free. Message me on YouTube if you want to join, or you can message me on here. I am Support and Resistance Trading on Discord chat. Here we are, Support and Resistance Trading on Discord chat. You can private message me and I'll add you right in. We're just a group of guys just talking about stocks, not pumping and dumping. We just want to educate each other and just to give everybody a common ground to be talking about similarities. All right. So again, Support and Resistance Mob, and I am Support and Resistance Trading. If you want to join our free Discord chat room. All right, so that's my tip for you guys. I hope you appreciate it. I hope you have another green day tomorrow, And good luck, everybody. Thanks, everybody.